Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. We have two Irish whiskeys. This is Paddy's, introduced in 1913. It says since 1779. That's the distillery, Middleton Distillery in Ireland. They've been around since 1779. But Paddy's is from 1913, and it was named after a salesman who got well known for going around selling the whiskey, and they called it the Paddy whiskey because he was always selling it. So sometimes you might see a bottle that says Paddy or Paddy's, and on the website they call him Patrick O'Flaherty, but on the bottle they call him Patrick Flaherty. So do they even know his name? All right, so it's bottled in Kentucky by the Sazerac Company, but it's produced in Ireland by the Middleton Distillery. It's aged 3 years, and it's blended. Grain whiskey, copper pot still whiskey, and single malt whiskey. And there you go. I paid $19.99, but I got it for $20.99 now. Price went up. Might find it on sale $17.99. Now here's the Busker Single Grain whiskey. It's all grain. It's not blended. It's all corn, and it's no age statement. We don't know how old it is. It's 44.3% alcohol. And it's aged in ex-bourbon barrels and finished, I think they said it for a year, in ex-marsala barrels. So the last year, it's in ex-marsala wine barrels. Gives it an interesting, strange flavor to me. Stronger, not as strong. Peculiar aging, not peculiar. All right, so it's got a little foil cap. Real cork, though. Paddy's uses real cork. It's not twist cap. Yep, you can see it's a real piece of cork. All right, not rubber. It's one of the top three or four Irish whiskey brands. One of the biggies. Of course, you know Jameson, Bushmills, Tullamore, DEW are other three biggies. Paddy's might be the least expensive of those four. But you know, you get in arguments with people that you got the Paddy partisans. They love Paddy's and they won't deviate. You got the Jameson people, and you got the Tullamore DEW people, and you got the Bushmills people, and they're not going to budge. Okay, so the Paddy's is slightly darker over here. I know that's Paddy's. Oh no, that's the strange. Okay. But they're both very pale. And do I like bourbon, says Maddie. Yeah, I like bourbon. I don't love it, but I like it. I have enough. I've got so many bottles now, it'll take me a lifetime, I think, to get through them. Just doing the taste challenges. I don't know how to get through them. It's crazy. But I keep getting good prices on them, so I keep buying them. I'm talking about Kentucky straight bourbon for low. So I keep buy. I keep buy. All right. So I don't think they're adding color into these, and I think what you've seen is what you're getting. Smell like grains. Smells like grain only. You know what I'm saying? No barley malt. Barley has that bready nose, like it's like bread dough. But this one, the single malt whiskey, smell like bread dough. This smell like corn, distilled corn. It smells like corn whiskey, which is what it is. Or if you live in Ireland or the mainland of Europe, you're going to say maize, but we say corn whiskey here. We don't the word maize doesn't really have any meaning in the United States. The only thing people think of around in the USA when you say maize, they think of Indian corn, like in the old days before the colonists arrived, the Indians growing corn. Anything else, they're going to call it corn. But in Europe, I noticed that when I was over there in Europe last year, all the beer cans would say maize, not corn. All right. Smells very sugary sweet. Now, Paddy's might be sugary sweet too, and there's a little oakiness, like the vanilla from the oakiness. Very mild, mellow, easygoing, enjoyable. Nothing wrong with it. Any negatives? I can't think of any. Only thing I've ever said about Paddy's was maybe it's a little bland, kind of bland, but it's not a bad product. That's got to be the Busker because it's got that corn flour, cornmeal, sugar cream, and vanilla. Oh yeah, that's corn whiskey. It's kind of like a milder version of mellow corn from the United States, from Kentucky. There's mellow corn. If you got mellow corn in the Busker Single Grain, you would find that they were much more similar than different. Okay. Yes. Let's keep tasting. It's a lot stronger. Well, it's higher alcohol. It ought to be stronger. It's higher proof. It's got a higher percentage of alcohol. I don't know. I don't know. Look, if you're used to drinking Jameson, Bushmills, Paddy's, Tullamore DEW, if that's what you drink all the time, and you drink this, you might just think it's terrible. You might say, "Oh no, don't bring that around anymore. Get it out of my way." Although you might, on the other hand, you might think this is really different. I've never had anything like this before. I want more of it. So I don't know. I know Walmart they wanted it out of their store. They wanted to get rid of it, and the reasoning I do not know. But when I went to Walmart, it was $10 on the closeout tag. Now I told you I paid $19.99 for Paddy's. Actually, I think Rouse's had it for $18.99. I think I got it for $18.99 a few years ago because I kept shopping around and looking around, and they had it. So I said, I'll get the discount. But now you're going to have to pay about, like I said, you might find it for $17.99, although the chances are very low. But this one, $10. I mean, a $30 whiskey. Look up the price. You can go shopping online. Look up the prices for the Busker. It's $30 everywhere. 30, 31, 32 even. I hadn't seen it lower than $30.99. I got it for $10.00, $10.00 plus tax. That sounds like a lie, but it's the truth. And I bought it at Walmart, and they had the green label also, the triple distilled, both of them 10 a piece. I said, I'll take one of each, which was a good deal. And then they had 2 bottles of this. Oh yeah, and I bought one each from my friend David, because he always told me, if you ever see a deal, don't call me, don't try to contact me, just buy it. I'll pay you back. And I said, okay, so that's the premise I work under now. If I see it, I buy it, and he pays me back because he's always wanting to try these super discounts. All right. To me, this is me speaking. To me, I think the Paddy's is better. It's a more classic style, more well-rounded. You get the The copper pot still, the single malt, the grain whiskey, all blended together, aged for 3 years in oak, bottled in Kentucky. Haha. But I mean, it's just a nicer product to me. But you might disagree. Do I have a problem with this one? I don't have a problem with it. It's done very well in the taste challenges. It's distinctive. I never got it confused with any other. I don't see how I could. So it's unique um, in that sense. So if you see it, buy it. Is it worth the $30.99? I guess it is. But for $10, yeah, you have to buy it. So I have a few left. I have the Tullamore DEW. It'll be the same result as this. So it's going to be the same as this. So if you say, I'm going to skip that video because I know the outcome is going to be the same. Like the video will be almost identical, except for the products, the competitor. I think you're right. So I wouldn't take offense if you skipped it, because I'm telling you it's going to work out that way. And then I'm going to have Bushmills from Northern Ireland and British Empire. But it's going to be the same. Now, the Black Bush, that could be a little more interesting, a little bit more interesting. Black Bush has its own unique ways, but it's mostly single malt. See, Black Bush is 80% single malt and only 20% grain. They flipped the script. See, they flipped the script. Most of these are 80-20, 80% grain whiskey, and they give the flavor from the single malt. Like, it might be like 10% single malt, 10% copper pot still. Hey, that's fine. It's all aged at least 3 years. Not like the United States where they could throw in unaged, up to 80% unaged grain spirits. But Black Bush, they flipped the script. They said, let's do it backwards. We'll make it 80% single malt and only 20% grain whiskey, which gives it and then they age it for 8 years. 8 years, you heard me right. 8 years in Oloroso oak cask. Oloroso sherry from Spain. So I never tasted any Irish whiskey tasted like that. I never tasted any whiskey tasted like Black Bush. All right, so and I guess that's all of them coming up. I may have overlooked one in my collection, but I don't think so. And then it's on to Scotch, and I have to do a solo review of the Scotch. It's the Trader Joe's 8-year age single malt. Is it any good? I don't know. I didn't read a review. I didn't check any scores. I didn't do any research. I don't know who makes it for them. Probably some company that does all kind of contract distilling. It's probably fine, but I can't say that because I never had it. Herbie on Wheels, Shubhya. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at it correctly. Shubhayu. Hi to you, and thanks for watching from India. And now I'm off of here, going to do some other things. All right, y'all take care now. The winner to me is Paddy's, but that is subject to personal preference.